Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we are making Lexis King and Trick Williams. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm making Lexis King and Trick Williams. As of recording, as I'm starting to record this, we have not seen any reveals at WrestleMania. We have not seen any other leaks of any potential Lexis King or Trick Williams figures. I have to believe that they're coming sometime down the line. We did have to wait a bit to get like Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Carmelo Hayes. We've seen Pretty Deadly, so those guys were on the roster wrestling for a while in NXT before we saw figures of them. So I don't know if these guys will be coming soon. You've got to believe they're coming sooner than later. Trick Williams is definitely before Lexis King, who, I mean, he's not doing a ton. He's been on at least one PLE when he wrestled Carmelo Hayes. I try to watch NXT, but I am always busy. I always put my kids down for bedtime around the same time that NXT is on, so I catch what I can. But Brian Pillman Jr., obviously from AEW, is now Lexis King, so I want to make an elite of him. When Federation put up the head for him, I was like, right then I wanted to buy it. If for no other reason than I think that he's got a cool look. I think it'll be a fun custom to make. I'm really excited. We went with the orange and black decals here. I can get him up and show you guys a little bit. For his body, I use a Bo Dallas torso, some double jointed arms from, I can't remember who. So we've just got the orange and black for Lexis King. The legs are like the Apollo Crews legs. It was a Buff Bagwell custom that I did, but then I remade it, made an NWO version. This is one of like my proudest pieces of painting right here. I did that with paint and a pen, and I'm very proud of how that came out. Lines and symmetry are not always my strong suit, so I was very proud of that, but we're moving on today. He's got some Seth Rollins lowers, and then, like I said, heads from Federation. Trick Williams is easily pieced together, so I can't remember who I took the kick pads from at the moment. They might also be Seth Rollins kick pads, but the attire I ended up getting is the all-white attire, so I'm going to swap these out. I think I have some plain white kick pads in my collection. Going to find those, put those on him. Got to paint the crotch piece, and then like the upper thigh is white, and then the head, obviously the skin tone's already painted on it, but gotta paint both of those. I just do the skin tones in batches now instead of just doing one at a time. It's just easier for me. I have a whole video that breaks down just painting skin tones, so if you're specifically interested in that, you can always check that out. I haven't really changed anything up from that. But the rest of the body for Trick Williams is just a Farouk Assad Elite, and I did see someone, so I saw someone use a King Rhodes body. They just put the Lexis King head, I think they bought it painted, and then just put his head onto a King Rhodes body, obviously with a torso swap, but it looked pretty good like that. It wasn't accurate because it was the King Rhodes attire, but really it didn't look like out of place. So that's also got me really excited to do this, but I'm done talking. Time to get to it. Okay, time to do the Lexis and Trick here, and I accidentally put my my camera in slow-mo instead of time-lapse, so you missed me putting on all the like clear decals with him. But the important ones are the ones that are more visible, the ones that really make the custom. With those, so if they don't have the dotted lines on them that Curb Stomp does sometimes, what I do is just flip them around backwards, hold them over the seam on the other side, and then I'll kind of like trace it on the back, and then it's really easy to cut that way.
that might not make any sense. I'll try and explain it in like a tutorial video, or show you guys a better way. With the hair here, I'm going to paint the top part in the darker black, and then with the beard, I always try to do like the ends a little darker, and then I'll brush the sides. And I looked up, like, Trick needs to work on his beard game a little bit. It's a little bit patchy, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll make it look a little better on the figure here. So with Lexis King, which, I don't know, maybe Lexis King needs to work on his beard game a little bit as well. His decals are kind of difficult because they, like, when you wrap the decals all the way around the legs, they don't line up perfectly because it's not a perfect cylinder. So it is a little difficult. Like, I'm going to get them in place, put a lot of micro sole to soften them up, and then I'll use the heater, but then I'll still come in and touch them up a little bit just so the decals are looking good. But those, outside of the leg ones, it wasn't too bad. With the hair, I'm going to use a toasted marshmallow color, and for his hair, for the beard, I used just like I think it was coffee bean brown that I used for his beard, and then like I said, marshmallow for his hair. I did put darker roots in, and then I'll kind of dry brush over that so you can like sort of see it, but it's not prominent. You'll see at the end, I guess. And then the headband, I'm just going to do black with like some orange detail on it. Nothing too crazy.
Here are the finished product for Lexis King and Trick Williams. I ended up using tape for the white armbands on Trick. I just thought if I painted them that they would be a little, like, I just thought the paint would chip, and I figured I would just do some small armbands, and if I didn't like the tape, we'll just take it off. So I'm happy with this. I used that for the wrist tape as well. I'm glad that I used the white kick pads. I think that looks much better than having to paint them. The diamond design on them is kind of hard to see on the camera, but I think it comes across really well on the figure. One of the issues when I was filming the time lapse, I switched to a new phone, and I'm still like kind of figuring things out with it. And just it's still an iPhone, but the feel for it is a little bit different. I probably made it I don't know, halfway through doing my Trick Williams custom, and like I got all of the white diamond clear layers on, then realized that instead of recording a time lapse, I was recording in slow motion. So instead of having a bunch of like 8-second videos, I had 4 or 5 like 5-6 minute long videos, and had to scrap that. So here is Trick Williams in his finished glory. You can see the decals on both sides, the waistband that goes around. I think it's an awesome looking custom. I'm really, really happy with it. Wasn't even going to do Trick Williams for the longest period of time. Kind of like I was saying at the beginning, I just didn't have like a huge desire to make him. And then him and Carmelo Hayes both kind of started to slowly grow on me. And I've been looking at this head sculpt on Headoration's website for a minute, so figured no time like the present, and I'm very happy with how it ended up turning out. The Lexis King, I really don't care that much about him as a wrestler right now. Like I don't regularly watch NXT, so I've seen him a little bit. Like, I know who he is. I did consider making Brian Pillman Jr. from AEW and never got around to that, and this is just one I think looks really cool. I had a lot of fun with it. The hair, I used like a white marshmallow color, and then I just tried to kind of do his dark roots, and then just dry brush over that a little bit, and painting the beard. So I did see a video, I think it might have been with Chris Van Vliet. He was talking about his beard and why it looks the way it does. And when he got to NXT and got to Florida, he asked Trick and Mello where they went to, like where they went to the barber. So he went to a black barber and like had his beard and everything lined up, which I think is hilarious. But it could totally work. Like, it looks goofy on him, but totally works for his character. As far as the custom goes, I'm really happy with it. Really just, it kind of plain with just the black and orange, but I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it, and just overall, 2 customs I'm really excited to add. I was hoping to see some figures of these guys from Mattel. I'm hoping sooner than later, especially with Trick Williams. He's getting a much bigger push in NXT, so hopefully we'll get him in the Elite line to go alongside our Carmelo Hayes. And then Lexis King, if we could just get a basic of him, I'd be pretty happy with that for now. But that is going to be everything for today. So if you want to check out some more Work in Progress Wednesdays, we have a full channel of them, or a full playlist of them on the channel is what I meant to say. We have plenty more to come. Outside of that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude, out.